Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered, coming on a special Super Bowl time. Today, I will finish up KhaderGate and racist advocates within our school district.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping.
I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Today, KhaderGate Part 3 and racism. In our public schools, are some of our schools' advocates racist individuals? Let's find out. Good afternoon, folks. I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. How you doing this afternoon? It's a little bit different than it was yesterday out there, right? Good afternoon. I'm Freddie Vasquez, coming on a little early today because of the Super Bowl, and I can't compete with that. Definitely not. Well, I want to discuss today a couple things. I will be wrapping up the KhaderGate series today, but I also want to first talk about racism. We've been talking a lot about racism, and recently the mayor came under fire for comments he made in an interview with the Phil Reisman radio show. Reisman and Richter. Now, I didn't necessarily agree with the, what the sentiment, the majority of the sentiment was in terms of the comments that the mayor made, right? But I do support the people. So I support what they say. However, I like to be fair. I don't like to throw racism out there for everything. I don't want to overuse it, but I will call it out when it needs to be addressed. And in this situation, I'm talking about volunteers, advocates that operate within our Yonkers public school districts, specifically PTAs, and those who have joined them, those who volunteer, and those who lead them. Are these individuals racist? And we have to ask this question because our school district here in the city of Yonkers is about 80% Hispanic and African American. We also complain a lot about the schools not getting enough. There not being enough advocacy for our students, our parents. And we often look to the elected officials many times for change. But should we also look elsewhere? Should we hold others responsible as well? Those that are tasked with advocating for our parents and our students. That is their primary job. It is in their mission statement. They believe our children deserve better. Absolutely. And that is why I'm talking about it today on my podcast. Because our students here in the city of Yonkers, public schools, deserve better. They deserve individuals who are actually going to advocate and not play politics within a non-political organization that was created simply to assist students, children, and their families achieve goals, academic goals, and personal life goals. And that has not been happening. And Freddie Vasquez has to discuss this because it upsets me. And this stems from a post that I saw on Instagram. Shout out to Yonkers United 2021. You guys are awesome. You're doing a heck of a job. Heck of a job. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Yonkers 2021, if you do not know, is an organization made up of parents and staff members, school staff members who are in disagreement with the mask mandates, who want to make mask optionals. Again, recently, the Supreme Court here in New York State ruled that they were unconstitutional and illegal. However, the governor, the unelected governor, issued a stay order as they appeal it. Now, many districts have continued with the mandates. However, some have not. The truly brave ones. But are they brave? I don't know. But I do know that those districts have parents that will advocate. They have the means, they have the knowledge, they have the resources, and they will bring it to those individuals who work for the school or volunteer for the school. And we need to do the same. And that is why I'm leading the charge. Recently, the post that I'm talking about was a brunch that the YCPTA had, their annual brunch with elected officials, hobnobbing with the elites of the city of Yonkers and Westchester and state of New York. Very fancy. They looked like they had a lot of fun. No one had a mask on, touching foods with their fingers. Actually, someone had a mask. It was in their hand, but no one had one on their face. However, they expect our kids to wear this every day, folks. And I love my kids more than anything in this world. So if you think that I would make a decision that would not be well thought out or well researched when it comes to my kids, you're sadly mistaken. And I've done the research. And it upsets me because in my research, I found that masks are harmful. In fact, I've had a conversation with the chief medical officer for the city of Yonkers, and he too agrees that the mask mandates have come to their end and they need to be done. We've overdone it. He anticipated that they would have been around for maybe a month or two, but not this long. And at this point, it is going to do harm. So if this is the individual that the city of Yonkers relies on for medical advice, why are they following an unelected politician's illegal orders? Other school districts have not followed suit and have been independent in their decision-making. Some of these school districts include Eastchester, Mamaroneck. And I'll tell you what they have in common. And Irvington. These are upscale communities. Eastchester, know the area well. Irvington, upscale, pay high taxes there. They're going to be heard. I'm paying $30,000, $40,000 a year in taxes. You better believe I'm going to bring it to you if you make my kids wear masks that they know are harmful. Because those who are in the know whisper to each other, because this is all politics, folks. It's all about getting funds from the state. If they follow what the state wants them to do, they will get more money. If the state follows what the federal government wants them to do, they will get more money. So it's not about our kids. It's not about your health, teachers and staff members. It's about money. It's a reason why it's called the root of all evil. Now I'm going to play a video, show the, this is a video that's created by Yonkers United. Excellent job, guys. Excellent job. Excellent job. Excellent job. You guys are amazing. I love it. I'm going to share this video now. And you might recognize the individual that comes on right on. Hasn't been around for a while. But if you're my age or older, you should remember this individual. There you go. Remember the crib keeper? Well, that's Kathy Hochul. That's the governor there. And let's play this video from Yonkers United 2021.
Schools calling with an important message regarding New York State's mandate requiring mask wearing in schools and on school transportation. The governor announced this week that schools must continue to enforce the statewide mask requirements into March after schools return from winter recess. The district respects the different opinions our families and staff have about wearing masks. However, the district has no choice. We must follow the state mandates. All students, staff, and visitors must wear masks at all times while in school and on school transportation. We respectfully ask that you work with us. The district is required to provide at-home COVID-19 antigen rapid testing kits for every student, pre-kindergarten through grade 12. A test kit will be sent home with your child next week before the winter recess, and again the week we return to school
Got his
after
glasses
recess.
on.
All of this information is available on the district's homepage. Look for the quick link, and it's being sent to your email on file with the district. Thank you, as always, for your continued support. Stay safe.
To opt out of future messages, call 855-502-7867. Goodbye.
Yonkers United 2021, folks. Shout out to you guys. You guys are incredible for that video. That was awesome. Awesome. And it shows the hypocrisy and the blatant disregard for individuals who are concerned with the prolonged use of these masks. Folks, I have posted information that these masks contain microparticles, plastics, the chemicals, asbestos, materials that are used to make these surgical masks, the ones made in China. Remember, that's where the virus originated from. And now they're giving us the mask from China. By the way, if you really want to learn about this, go find out where they got the coding for the vaccine. Go find out. Do the research. You're gonna be like, what the heck? Yeah. So those particles that the kids are breathing in daily, and adults as well, will result in lung disease, cancers, and other medical problems down the road. Too bad we can't see the future, read the future, but we can do our research, and we can trust that there are other medical experts out there who are credentialed, Nobel Prize winners, not bureaucrats like Dr. Fauci. And in fact, the gentleman who's in charge of the WHO has never even studied medicine. That's right. But they are the ones that are telling us what to do. And I like that the video posted the message because she is completely lying. She says that we have no choice. No, you do have a choice. Eastchester made a choice. Mamaroneck made a choice. Irvington made a choice. Harrison made a choice. And Yonkers can make a choice. But we get shafted. We get shafted. Why? Is it because of the makeup of our population, our student body? The YCPTA, Yonkers Council of PTAs, headed up by Carmen Goodstein, Jewish woman. I don't separate Jewish people from white people. Some people like to do that. I mean, they're white. But at the end of the day, we're people. Right? We're people. But again, for the sake of this podcast, Carmen Goodstein, a white woman, a privileged white woman. Her kids do not attend Yonkers Public School. What is her interest in being the president of the YCPTA? She has nothing in common with the student body or the families for the most part. Some of the schools on the poorer sides of Yonkers were without PTAs. And when individuals wanted to introduce PTAs in these schools, they were given hard times. It's all politics. And they play with our kids' education because they want to have a title. Look at me. I'm the president of this. So insecure. People can be insecure and have a lot of money. Trust me. People in the elites are very insecure individuals. Individuals that seek to enrich themselves primarily are insecure individuals. Just want to tell you the psychology behind it. So should an individual like Carmen Goldstein, who does not reflect the majority of the student body and their families, who does not have any kids in the Yonkers Public School, has no vested interest, no skin in the game, should she be the president of YCPTA? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm glad you guys didn't invite my wife. I would hate to have seen her in those pictures because I would have called her out too. My wife is the third vice president of the YCPTA. She's all about trying to make change. But when you want to make change and you get into organizations like this, you soon realize the politics behind everything. We call politics politics. And then when we talk to each other, we say, oh, it's all political, you know, the politics. And we use it loosely in negative terms, but then we look to politicians as if they're positive. There's a reason why people say that and use that in that way. And this is not a political organization, but there exists politics within that organization and racism. I have been privy to an email and a few emails that were sent by an African-American woman, no, not my wife, a member of the community here in the city of Yonkers, wanting to help any way they can. The response, which was accidentally sent to the person, was racist in nature. It spoke of an angry black woman. We've got an angry one here, to quote some of the email. And it was sent back by accident. It meant to go to another individual within the school district. And this is how they talk about individuals. This is how they talk about families. This is how they talk about students. So my Latinos and my Blacks, African American brothers and sisters, this is why the schools on the south side, southwest side are the worst. Because those that are tasked with advocating for all our schools have nothing in common with those that attend, cannot relate, cannot be sympathetic, or have any true empathy. And I'm not trying to say anything negative about the person, but how can you? What do you know about living in a rundown tenement building up in your ivory tower? So if we want to actually make something happen, we have to bring individuals that know what the problems are, that are not looking to grandstand or have a title, that are not looking to satisfy an insecurity, a need to feel important. People may say that about me. You do your podcast, you're a wannabe podcaster. Well, that's not my goal. And I think those who are not haters know that by now. I don't take any money from this. I haven't received any benefit. And I'm putting my neck out on the line because I can and have been retaliated against. I don't just play the game. I call it out. But for far too long, too many have just played the game. And they've played to simply win for themselves. And that's not okay with me, and I hope that's not okay with you. And if you're a parent of a student in the public schools here in Yonkers, not just about the mask mandates, but about a lot of the issues that that the schools face that are plaguing our educational system here in the city of Yonkers should be upset about this. These individuals are supposed to be advocating, not having fancy brunches with no mask on, picking at food with their fingers. God knows where they've been. So I want you to call the YCPTA, Yonkers United, call the YCPTA, say, why aren't you advocating? There's a large group of parents that would like to have an option on these masks. Other school districts have done it. Why aren't you working to help out, or at least acknowledge or validate their concerns? But you don't, because you are out of touch. Your ivory tower is too high for us to reach, and you can't hear us. And no longer will we scream up at you. We are going to take matters into our own hands. End the mask mandates now. Make it optional. The next thing we will do is come and make disruptions, civil disobedience, because I feel strongly about that. And if you don't agree with me, that's your right, and I respect it. But eventually, you will thank me when you realize the harm that they are causing to our kids. KhaderGate, KhaderGate, KhaderGate. KhaderGate, KhaderGate. You heard of Russiagate. You've heard of Russiagate. By the way, there's a lot going on with that whole Russiagate thing and Hillary Clinton. Go check it out. Go check out what's going on the national stage. But let's get back down to local municipalities. KhaderGate. KhaderGate, 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 part 3. This is the end of KhaderGate. But if you have questions, I will answer them. And if I get any more information, I will obviously share, right? Because I have to bring the transparency, because we can't rely on Mr. Liam McLaughlin to actually produce a transparent investigation, although he claims that he is, engaging in one. And the city council asks that he engage in a transparent investigation. Well, subpoenas have been issued a second time. First were quashed. Judge found no reason for the subpoenas to have been issued to begin with. The council should have dropped it at that point, but they didn't, because it's not about the quid pro quo, but it's about keeping Mr. Khader out of politics and everybody getting their little prizes for participating in the plot. Well, the plot thickens. Freddie Vasquez came out of nowhere, started this little old podcast because he's a wannabe podcaster. And he started growing. And guess what? Others started to do the same. But none are as good as Basement Politics, because I give it to you raw. I have the sources. I verify, I vet, and I go the distance, and I stay consistent. So I'm going to share some more about the ongoing investigation here into Mike Khader, quid quo pro. And the fact that they have not investigated John Rubo is freaking criminal. It's freaking criminal, because they have zero on Mike Khader, although the the inspector general said it's different with Mike Khader. I said, yeah, why? I can't tell you that. Well, I haven't found anything in my research, in the documents that were submitted to the courts, and what they actually told the judge themselves, nothing. Now, one thing that indicates there should have been an investigation to begin with. So guess what, folks? They just threw away about $200,000 of taxpayer money. What could that have done for our schools, for our youth here in the city of Yonkers? It's not about the people. They'll burn money when they want to investigate someone simply to keep them out of politics. But when they need money for schools, they can't get it. The state just won't give it to us. John Rivera is a great podcaster. Jake, don't be mean. Jake, don't be mean. Jake, don't be mean. Well, anyway, I want to go over some of the more documents. These will be the final documents that I share. And then I'm going to get back to the schools and the mask in a bit. back to YCPT. I'm not going to let you guys off that easy. But let me share. I hope this is the right one. Yes. So I started to read some of it, but I'm going to skip a lot. And again, I will share this. I haven't shared it yet, but I will. And then you guys can go through it and read it from top to bottom, analyze it, assess it, and you can see the BS. You can totally see the BS. And that's why they have not been transparent, right? Because they are full of you know what. Anyway, number 8, additionally, it is respectfully, this is the lawsuit, this is the documentations that were submitted, lawsuit documents. Number 8, additionally, it is respectfully submitted that IG McLaughlin should be required to fully recuse himself from any further investigation against Mike Khader, and that any future investigative activities be conducted by a appointed, demonstrably independent and unbiased inspector general, which they have gone outside counsel. I'm sorry, right? They have sought out legal counsel from outside firms, but that's another complaint that people have. They have inside counsel, they have lawyers for the city, but now there's who are on the payroll, right? So they're paying whether they're actually doing this case or not. And then they go and seek outside lawyers that they have to pay. So additional taxpayer money on a wild goose chase. The city council, if they were responsible, which they have proven themselves not to be, would have ended this a long time ago, just for the sake of saving the city money, even if they don't care about Khader, right? At least save the city some money. But no, they don't even know what's going on. Bunch of airheads. They don't even know what's going on. I'm sorry. It's a bunch of airheads, bunch of airheads. Anyway, so yeah. So 9, there is an urgency into this application because the power, authority, integrity of the office of the Inspector General has been coopted in order to impermissibly influence the impending primary for the office of City Council President, scheduled to take place on June 22nd. So basically, what they're saying that this is just a wild goose chase that was created simply to disrupt Mr. Khader's chances of winning in the primary, right? That was coming up back in June of 2021, right? An additional concern addressed in this application is that IG McLaughlin publicly announced that he was directed to undertake the investigation of the city council president by the other 6 members of the city council in a letter dated May 18, 2021. 11, as detailed below, the alleged directive of the city council should be declared void as a matter of law because it was an action taken in violation of the open meeting law and the city charter. Upon information and belief, at least 2 of the city council members communicated to the city council president's council that they signed the letter because of political pressure. Right, that's what I said. In a letter dated May 19, 2021 from Jeffrey Buss of Smith Buss Jacobs, counsel to the city council president, Mike Khader, to Mr. McLaughlin, the inspector general, Mr. Buss confirmed that political pressure was exerted on the council members to investigate the blog story during a campaign. A copy of that letter has been sent. Like, seriously, if there was any integrity in the inspector general's office, any integrity whatsoever, they would have been investigating that council. I could only imagine what some ambitious young assistant DA from the Southern District of New York, or maybe the assistant state inspector general's office, ambitious and hungry, looking for a big case to just crack and make a name for themselves, would find if they came down here to Yonkers. Just saying, if there's any one of you guys out there, right? You want to make your name for yourself? Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. It's right here on a silver platter. Anyway, upon information and belief, at least 2 of the city council members communicated to the city council. Okay, I read that. IG McLaughlin has directly acknowledged that at the very least, his involvement in an investigation of Mr. Khader has the appearance of a conflict of interest. He did so in an email to the city council on May 20th, 2021, stating that in order to keep the requested investigation beyond reproach and free from any appearance of conflict of interest, this investigation will be conducted by an external firm that will report their findings to my office and the city council. So again, they're paying this money to an outside firm on top of the almost $200,000 that they give this knucklehead that doesn't do anything, right? And his little deputy in the office there. And yeah, I did record your calls. I recorded them. That's right. Because you are a slick, greasy person. And I got to watch myself with you. Okay. And I wanted you to be honest. If I told you they were being recorded, you would have been lying, what you were doing anyway. Okay. You little punk. Right. Anyway, however, he has not recused himself from the investigation and remains demonstrably actively involved in overseeing and directing it. In fact, the external firm will report its findings to him and the council. Both of them have demonstrated their lack of impartiality and by the manner in which this investigation was commenced without proper legal authority. Yeah, they obviously don't like Khader. They obviously want him out. They should have at least spoken to him and given him an opportunity to show that this was all bogus. First of all, they should have never listened to the freaking Yonkers Tribune, okay? They should have never, I mean, the judge just ruled that it was, some supermarket tabloid crap. So why you even listen to them? You guys lose your credibility right there. Right there, you lost your credibility. The runaway train of IG McLaughlin improperly motivated investigation must be stopped before it crashes head on into the right of Mr. Khader to be protected from abuse of a corrupted investigative process. Well, that's too late now. It did cost him the election, cost him his political career, although he may come back. Who knows? And no, he has not mentioned this to me. No, he has not. But I have said to him, I think you have a shot and I think you should go. That's just what I would do because that's who I am, Anyway, let me go to statement of facts. Michael Khader is the current city council president for the city of Yonkers. This was last year. He is candidate in the Democratic primary contest to be held on June 22nd, 2021. Prior to defeating Mr. McLaughlin, again, remember, the IG was his opponent at one point that he defeated. Prior to defeating Mr. McLaughlin in the city council president election of 2017, Mr. Khader was an attorney in private practice. Prior to that, he worked for the Central Intelligence Agency's National Clandestine Service, where he held a top security clearance. Liam McLaughlin has a long history of involvement in Yonkers politics. In 1999, he successfully ran for a seat on the Yonkers City Council, a position he held for 10 years, and he's still eating up taxpayer money here in the city of Yonkers. Guys, you've been funding this guy's lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, for a long time, all right? 10 years. When term limits preventing him from running again, Mr. McLaughlin unsuccessfully ran as the Republican candidate for the 35th Senate District seat. In 2013, he was elected as city council president. He was defeated for re-election in 2017 by Mr. Khader. On January 13, 2020, Yonkers Mayor Mike Spano nominated Mr. McLaughlin for the position of Yonkers Inspector General. The investigation Mr. McLaughlin commenced against Mr. Khader is the first and only investigation of allegations of wrongdoing by a Yonkers public official since he assumed the office of Inspector General, which it should not be the only one, and John Rubo should be under investigation. So everyone, send an email to Liam McLaughlin. Hey, you need to investigate Rubo for all these reasons. The investigation, and all of them actually, the investigation Mr. McLaughlin commenced, I said that on May 18, 2021, respondents Pineda Isaac, Mike Breen, Williams, Diaz, Rubo, and Moranti signed in their official capacity a letter on a stationery of the Office of City Council, right, to respond in McLaughlin, asking for an investigation. In said letter, the aforementioned council members formally requested that your office open an inquiry into two matters, right? And I spoke about that already. So I read that part. So yeah, so I just want to read some of that because I just want to put it out there. Now I'm going to share it. You guys could dissect it, right? Recusal of IG McLaughlin based on conflict of interest. Petitioner seeks. Yeah, he's asking for McLaughlin to be recused. That has not happened. This was back in June of last year that this letter was, or this document was introduced, or to the judge, or sent it to the judge or whatever. And he's still ongoing. This is unbelievable. Anyway. Let's go to the comments. You should talk about Steve Lopez, his stipend, and his job as Yonkers police chaplain. Yeah. Yeah, what's the stipend? You know how much he makes? How much he's making? I heard that's volunteers. Somebody's like, look, they're volunteers. Don't, talk about the volunteers. They're doing a good thing. Volunteers, please. You want to volunteer and do a good thing? Come see me. I got something for you to do. Okay, you're gonna make a much more dramatic impact than what you're doing now. Okay, these people are not volunteering for the kindness of their heart. Okay, I don't care what you say. Okay, there is some gain somewhere for them. 1,000%. 1,000%. Okay, look, my wife works for the Yonkers Public Schools. People warned me from day one, but I'm doing this for you guys. Okay, I'm sacrificing myself. Okay, for you guys. But you guys gotta have my back. You know what I mean? Gotta have my back. So I am being honest. You know, I have no reason to lie here to you guys. My wife works for the schools, right? And so look, people could say, yo, they're gonna go after. I don't care. We need to do the right thing. We need to do the right thing. These are individuals that are volunteering because there is some benefit for them. That is their primary concern. 1,000%. 1,000%. Let's not be silly anymore, right? Let's not act like that's not true. There is no IQ test for elected officials in Yonkers. You know, unfortunately. You should run for office in Yonkers. You are smarter than all of them. Oh, thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. I don't know if people would elect me. You know, would they elect me? I don't know. I don't know. I look, whatever God wants right now, I do this podcast. This is what we got to do. I want to, really encourage people to vote. I want all of us to be involved, but whatever God has for me, that's what he's going to do. That's who's doing this, because sometimes I really don't even want to do this, Jake. I'm just like, I like to be alone sometimes, not bothered, but I feel propelled to move forward. And I know that's God, and I got to do what God says, no one can beat the Spanos. Yeah, well, maybe not. Mo, Larry, and Curly, Nick, Vinny, and Mike are undefeatable. Yeah, they got a lock on the here. Why are you hating on Alberto Velaz? No, I'm not hating on him. No, absolutely not. But I'm glad you asked that question. I'm actually not hating on him. People have been, reaching out to me regarding the fact that the union doesn't have a contract yet. I have reached out to have him on the show. I did many times. He's kind of dodging me. People have said that Dr. Casada has a gag order on him, so he's not able to go on any of these, the Yonkers Voice, come on here or whatever. And, it's unfortunate that there are people that have these complaints. At least give them answers, right? At least say, hey, this is what's up. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like, give people answers. So if people come to me and say, hey, Freddie, this is what's going on. You think you could help me out? I'm going to help out, and then when I reach out to the individual and they're hopping on a plane to Puerto Rico while your members are concerned about their contracts, that's kind of, I would feel bad. I don't know. That's just me. I would feel bad. I wouldn't be able to go to Puerto Rico unless I have my people's contracts in place, and not just who I am. I just fight for people. That's what I do as in my businesses. I'm an advocate for my clients, right? Against the big bad insurance companies, and I don't like those guys, because they got so much money and they just, they just don't care about the little people. So that's just kind of my nature, right? So, and I want to just try to get something going for them. So it's not that I'm hating on him, but if you're the president and you get elected by people to do a job, make sure that you're doing that job you got elected to do. That's all I'm saying. No diss, no hate. Just do your job, man. That's it. Or pass it off to somebody else and say, hey, I can't do it. I like going to Puerto Rico every other weekend. And so I don't have the time. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. 50,000? Wow. He's making 50,000. Steve Lopez. Someone said that he wasn't getting much. $50,000, that's good, along with everything else that he gets. He's righteous and not in anyone. Who's that, Alberto? He's, I don't know. I can't tell with him because he has commented. He's made some comments like it's time to go to the Attorney General, Letitia James. He's also liked many of my comments and podcasts, so I see that. But then it's time to speak out. It's time to say, hey, we got to be vocal, or figure something out, but we got to take some action. You know what I'm saying? You can't just talk about it. I've just always been somebody that, let's do it. Let's just go do it. Sometimes I go too fast, and I make mistakes because I like to get things done. Let's make it happen, and I remember one time there was a guy, I won't say his name, but he said, oh, you don't follow through. I got so many things that I'm, involved in and looking to do that, sometimes I'm not able to put all my effort into this. I have to prioritize. So, but I'm coming though. I'm coming to you who said that. You know who you are. And yes, I will have that going, what I told you in the text message, okay? Because I was trying to play nice and you want to come with the nonsense. Well, listen, I love to be challenged. You know what I mean? I'm going to go full steam ahead with you. Let's go. Dulani was in his pocket. Who's Dulani? I don't know who Dulani is. Dulani was in his pocket. Whose pocket? You know, what do you think of Alberto, Jake? You know a lot. So what do you think of him? Why is he not? Why is the CSA not having a contract? Why don't they have a contract? And I know the firemen just got their contract. The fire unions just finished negotiating one. But the CSEA next. I believe there were about 10 contracts or so that were still outstanding. Maybe less now. But why aren't they getting their contract? Why isn't Alberto fighting harder for them? You know, why isn't he seeing? And I hear that there was a contract offer, a 1-year extension, right? No change in the medical benefits, a 1% increase, 1% raise, and 3 steps increase. Something to that effect. I wrote it down. So, but Alberto turned it down because he felt like he could have got a better deal. But that's like the housing ordinance. They kill it saying that it's not good enough, but they don't present anything in its place. So then it looks like you're just full of crap. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, you know what I mean? So again, it's actions, not words. So get it done. Get it done. You know, show some action. Show people, make them feel, you know, like something's happening because they want their old people back. And I don't know. I'm just saying. But and they also took their townhouse. Why did they lose their townhouse? Why did CSE, the union, lose their townhouse on North Broadway, I believe? The townhouse that got a brand new roof put on it, $1 million roof, right? The roof on this townhouse for the CSEA union, where they had their office that was given to them by the city, cost $1 million. That's what I was told. I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, somebody got robbed. Okay, I want to know how big this townhouse is. $1 million. I put a roof in a 3,000 square foot home. I got it done for, believe it or not, $9,000. Shoot. $1 million. Look at which union supported who in last election and see the settlements. And then, yeah, there you go. The CSCA, they didn't support anything under, I thought they did, no? I don't remember who they supported. I know who the firemen and the police union supported, you know, and they always get taken care of. And that's why those guys are always, you know, in line, you know. They don't get out of line really, you know, because they always get what they want. And they're important though. You know, I mean, no, everybody's important, but I mean, imagine if, you know, cops just stop working, firemen don't stop going to fires. I don't think they'll do that, you know, just because they're not getting their contracts or getting paid. But, you know, they could definitely shut things down, you know. CSCA only supported Nolan. You know, I'm surprised that I don't hear more from James Nolan regarding the CSCA's contract. James Nolan, county legislator who beat Ruth Walters last year. He's a freshman legislator now here in the county. He's very, you know, he can be vocal, but he can also be out there, you know, fighting and advocating and bringing things where needed. So again, you know, we always have to give people time. You know what I mean? We always give people time. CSCA refused to support Tim and Lakeisha. Is that their punishment? Is that their punishment? And I hear that actually Alberto is a good guy. The people that are coming to me are not saying that he is in their pocket, right? I'm not, you know, but they are questioning why he's not doing more, right? And actually one source said that, you know, he's weak and that the city's smacking him around. I won't use the exact words they used, but that's what they said, that they're smacking him around. He's weak. He's not strong enough. And so they're going to just take advantage of that. And he can't do nothing. And maybe rather than say, listen, I can't do nothing, I'm weak and not strong, he just ignores it and hops on a flight to Puerto Rico, and it looks like he's bought. I don't know. That's just my theory. I could be totally wrong. But we won't know unless we have Alberto Velasquez on Basement Politics to clear the air. That's why I always reach out to everyone. And by the way, I meant to reach out to Judge Ada Medina. How you doing, Judge? Because I did ask her a question about who would she use as her campaign management or strategist. And I asked her about Zahi because I did hear about that. She didn't confirm. She said she still hadn't made a decision, but I'm hearing that that is the case and it has been confirmed. You know what? I was going to reach out to you and I didn't, but I did. I did reach out once and I'm on live now. I've asked people to come on the show. I mean, you know, like I can't always be making the effort. You know, you guys got to work with me here a little bit. Work with me, you know, work with me. But if that is the case and that is true, again, that speaks to what I was saying about judges' races. They're not necessarily impartial or, a high ethics, or done with high integrity, because look, a convicted felon, right? A convicted felon who's convicted in corruption and fraud and all that other stuff, political corruption, is running a judge's campaign. Really? I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter, right? Do you guys care? Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe it doesn't matter. But, people that I've talked to said that that's not very, ethical. They should stay away from Mr. Zahi Jarris. Precision Strategies is the company. He's got that along with his car wash up in Thornwood. And, I guess if you vote for Ada Medina, you'll be getting a free wax and wash, or wash and wax. Wax on, wax off, Daniel Side. Wax on, wax off. So, folks, it's 46 minutes. I'm trying to keep it to a half hour, so I'm very conscious of the time, although I did go over. I want to just kind of double back to the YCPTA. I hope that you guys will actually speak up and do something about this. And I know that members do watch, because I've had members like the podcast. We don't want our kids wearing masks. Well, make it optional. Fight for that. They don't have to stay with this mandate. If you see other districts have made it optional, so that's not an argument that you can make. And I will be sharing the racist emails and other information from sources regarding some of the individuals within the organization who appear to be racist. And why are you even involved in our PTAs if you have no skin in the game? If you do not relate to the majority of the student body, what are you doing here? Hello, can you please leave us alone? Hello, we have enough problems. We need, to take care of our own crap. Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. Get the mask off our kids. Rally time, rally time. We're going to be rallying, folks. Get it together. Let's get it together. We'll be seeing you guys soon. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I don't know who's playing. I don't really care. I don't watch sports. I'm too focused on my kids wearing masks, this economy getting ready to crash. Joe Biden is about to take us to World War III. And we got racists in the YPS.
Let's get it poppin'.
I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics
Thank you for
Unfiltered. Thank you for joining me today. I will be back tomorrow night at the regular time, which is between 8 and 10. All those parents who are not in favor of the mask mandates, reach out to the YCPTA. Ask them why they are not advocating more. Who are the racists? Who sent the racist emails? Who thinks that all black women are angry? Who called African American women another angry one? Find out soon. Take the mandates off. Take the mask off our kids. Game over.